Okay, so good morning, Miss Putri. I would love to introduce myself first. I'm Bintang, and today I would love to present my presentation about the connection between making a fist and two countries' poetry. So let's get started. On the first slide, I put the poems, and the left one is making a fist, and the right one is two countries. It was made by the same author, Naomi Shihapne. So let's get started with the first question is who is the speaker and what happened? So the speaker in making a fist is first person perspective as we can see in the poem itself. It uses I along the poem until the end. And the speaker in two countries is third person perspective. And the evidence is the author used skin to represent humans. Making a fist is a journey about the character from she was a little girl until she grew up. And the evidence is there's a line when you can no longer make a fist is a metaphorical line that means a sign of life and strength, and she survived and continues her life. Meanwhile, in two countries, it's all about the love and human connections, as we can see. And the line "love means you breathe in two countries." It represents about a human that feels love, loneliness, and hope. And the next slide is the question about what is the tone of the poem. So the first one, making a fist starts with frightened and vulnerable, gradually change into hope and resilience. So the evidence of where the characters start to frighten and feels vulnerable is I felt the life sliding out of me. My stomach was a melon split wide inside my skin. It's the evidence of how scared she is of dying and also expressing fear. And it's gradually changing while her mother said, how do you know if you are going to die? Is the question or the answer from her mother to comfort her. And there's a tone twist in the last part of the poem. I who did not die, who am still living. That represents her hope and resilience. Meanwhile, in two countries, starts with emotional feeling and physical isolation, gradually change into high spiritual note. As we can see, skin remembers how long the years grow when skin is not touched. It shows the emotional feeling and physical isolation where humans did not make any physical contact or any communication to each other. Nose like a city, hip like a city, showing that the speaker finds beauty in human body. And the final tone of the poem is also a tone twist. Thanks something larger that there are travelers, the people go places larger than themselves. Tells us that the speaker ends up on a spiritual high note. Okay, so the next slide is about the figure of speech. Both poems have some figures of speech, and in the making of this figures of speech, there are four figures of speech, and the first one is I felt the life sliding out of me is a metaphor, and making a fist is a symbolism about the strength. Palm trees swirl, a signaling pattern past the glass, is an imagery. A drum in desert, harder and harder to hear, is a personification about a drum into somebody's life. And in two countries' figure of speech, skin remembers is a personification of human. Love means you breathe in two countries is a metaphor. And feather lost from the tail of a bird is a simile. And the last one, gleaming dome of the mosque and the 100 corridors of cinnamon and rub is an imagery. So both of the poems has imagery about something that trying to compare something that makes the emotion gets built up. The next slide is theme or main idea. So it is simple. So the theme of making a fist is about strength and resilience to face the fear inside. We can see that in the poem itself, we can gradually start from frightened and feels vulnerable, and he asks her mother about the life, about why she feel like this and like that, And finally, he found um, the motivation to keep on her feet and to face every struggles that comes in her way. While in two countries is about loneliness and human connection. Next slide is correlation and differences, and correlation between both poems are about life and going through tough times. It's kind of hard to find what's the message behind it. It's because we have in the poem itself, they have a lot of figure of speech like symbolism, imagery, and sort of things like that. But the differences between both poems are in the tone, setting, and emotional focus. And the last one is about the ideology. So the ideology from both poems are about humanistic and deeply empathetic. The author tries to send a message through her poems for someone who are struggling, going through tough times. It's kind of it's kind of quite a deep message for us who is struggling with our lives, and the author tries to send us a message about you need to keep going, you need to stand on your feet and fill your heart with hope. It is quite a deep message for me. And I guess that's it. Thank you for your attention and thank you for watching my video presentation. And I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.